Stockton. Harper's on him. Behind the screen. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their second three-peat.
"50 years before the Bulls won their 6th banner, another team won Chicago's first pro basketball championship, and yet most people have never heard of them. The Chicago American Gears of the NBL, the National Basketball League. Dick Triptow was the point guard.
He was just an absolute super guy. Wonderful to his daughters. I mean, what could I say? And he was a total athlete.
He passed away in 2014, but his wife Helen helped him publish this book about his memories. A team that won it all and had it taken away.
Oh, he was upset, and he felt that he had to write this story. He said it's history, and so I said, all right, I typed the whole book for him.
The book is one of the few remaining pieces of evidence that the Gears ever existed. Did writing the book make him feel any better?
Absolutely. The American Gears laid the groundwork for what was to become one of the most lucrative, entertaining sporting industries in this country. Its story should be told.
Maurice White owned the Chicago American Gear Company in Chicago, making machine parts. His assembly lines were a big help during the war, but it was his dream to own a pro basketball team and bring a championship to Chicago. In their first year, they started in the Chicago Coliseum. Dick Triptow signed for $5,000 a year, the equivalent of $70,000 today. The Chicago American Gears finished 1945 with a 14-16 record, good enough for second place. During their second year, the Chicago American Gears moved here to Cicero Stadium at 19th and Laramie in Cicero. The wooden floor is gone, but as you can see, it pretty much looks the same now as it did back then. It was at that time that owner Maurice White came up with an innovative incentive plan. He'd give each player an extra $6 for a field goal made, $3 for a free throw made, and $3 for an assist. But to get the bonus, they had to win the game. Near the end of season 2, the Gears signed future NBA legend George Mikan. Then for season 3, the team added star Bobby McDermott, and the Gears upset the Rochester Royals to win the 1947 NBL championship. The Chicago Tribune hailed the Gears as the NBL champs, but the other team owners didn't like Maurice White. So instead of giving the trophy to the Gears, the other owners gave it to the team with the best regular season record.
The owners got together, they did not like Maurice White at all. And so they decided to change the rules. Why would you have a playoff if you aren't going to have a winner? He was upset over it. He said, we won the championship.
And after the upset victory in the championship series, Maurice White felt it was his time to be president of the NBL. But as the others didn't like him, they said no. So White pulled the Gears out of the NBL and started his own league. It folded after 1 month. And despite the fact they were the dominant team in America, the NBL would not let the Gears return to the league.
They all thought they were going to have this fantastic team, but then they split everybody all over.
Instead, the owners broke this championship team apart. That's how George Mikan ended up playing for the Minneapolis Lakers, now the Los Angeles Lakers. Mikan called the Gears the best team he ever played for, and Triptow felt the disbandment of the team prevented what would have been a basketball dynasty in Chicago. Triptow ended up playing for the Fort Wayne Pistons, now the Detroit Pistons. Was he angry?
Well, I guess he was angry, but what could he do? He had to think about what he's going to do now.
We visited Springfield, Massachusetts to explore the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Inductees on the dome include former Gears players George Mikan and Bobby McDermott. The only evidence that the Chicago American Gears ever existed was found in this case: George Mikan's shirt and bag, and Dick Tripto's shoes. The Basketball Hall of Fame honors the legends of the NBA. Dick Tripto was just a role player, but he is well represented here. We found the shoes his wife sent to the Hall a few years ago. She says her husband was a speedy point guard. It's hard to imagine anybody running very fast wearing these Spaldings from the late 1940s.
My dad was just a great athlete all around.
Dick Tripto's daughter, Donna, recently read her dad's book for the first time in years.
I think when we were growing up, my sister and I knew my dad was an athlete and a basketball star, but it wasn't really till we read the book and realized how much effort had gone into it and what an achievement it was, not only to be on the team, but also to recapture the history, which kind of would have been forgotten. The Bulls went on for 6 championships, and this team, can you imagine if you said, we're just going to take the players and split them up and put them in a lot of different places? So that always gnawed at him a little bit. I think, especially with the rise of the NBA and basketball, he felt that its roots were neglected, and in particular this Chicago team, with all of the success of the Bulls, deserved some credit for the development of the sport, and particularly in Chicago. "50 years ago, in 1947, the Chicago American Gears claimed the city's first professional basketball championship by defeating the Rochester Royals 3 out of 4 games for the National Basketball League crown. This was a team full of character and also full of characters.